We're, fuck it, we're going live. Hopefully you guys can hear me. This is like my third or fourth attempt at trying to go fucking live. Maybe I'm live. Maybe I'm not. I am! I'm on YouTube live! Okay, we're on OBS today. I just realized I'm so old. I still have the old VW logo that I did. Still a thing, background. But anyways, Vigilante Wednesday here on the 26th episode of VW Casual. And no, not even a nationwide StreamYard outage or the shittiness of Restream.io will stop this show from happening. We are still on. We are still live. A little bit different. Obviously, you don't see the little sound waves when I talk, but we're live. So thank you everyone in the chat. The Wait Down was trying to help me. Snorter Poop is left. Newbound Turk hopefully is still here. Let me know if you're still here. If you're still in the chat, please share. Please, like, share, sub, all that good stuff. We have quite a bit of things to get into today. It's going to have to be quick because this is a time sensitive thing. I'm starting daily. Newbound Turk is here. The Wait Down is here. So we got at least one household. Hopefully more people come back. More people show up. We got a lot to talk about. I want to talk about Venom. I want to talk about Gina Carano again and maybe her accidentally, not necessarily accidentally, but maybe us costing someone else a job. And biological women. Oh, so you guys are all on Midnight's Edge? I just started. I have to. So I'm starting daily streams. I'm going daily. This is the first episode of me going daily, and it was a national outage on StreamYards. So yeah, that would suck if every day I compete with Midnight's Edge. That would really suck. Yeah, y'all come over here. If every day I gotta compete with Midnight's Edge, I gotta rethink the time. Maybe having to wake up a little bit earlier. But in any event, I want to thank anyone who's watching this live or in the playback. This is VW Casual. This is the precursor. We're going to relaunch the Vigilante Williamson show hopefully next week. I just talk about pop culture, news, politics, whatever the fuck I want to talk about, basically. And so let's get through the stories. I guess, this is hopefully I don't screw everything up. This is a different setup than I'm usually. I cannot highlight you guys' comments as usual. Nope, just Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's still a lot of, that's still not good. That's still not good. I just restarted my computer for OBS. I don't know what, I just restarted the computer and it worked. So that was that. Newbound Turk. That's still not good because Wednesday is the Culture Crime Fighters. Goodness. I just started a new job. That's the reason I'm upping, changing our whole schedule. And I'm trying to make the most of it. And it just started, this is the first week on that schedule. And man, this is really going to be, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. I appreciate anyone who is riding with me. And hey, they're really big channels and really good channels for a reason. So we'll see. We will see. But hey, I know they're probably talking about this Venom thing. Venom made $90 million, which is kind of an old school, well, not old school, but a few years ago, 2019 and back sort of number. I believe in this Variety article will let us know that it'll be the biggest pandemic movie so far, setting the pandemic record, which I guess all of life will be post-pandemic, which is awesome. The new iPhone, you can run everything off that. It's like a studio. I don't really like iPhone, but I knew we'd need a new phone, so maybe who knows? Who knows? Not like Android's that much better. But anyways, Let them be carnage. What the hell am I talking about? Venom, Let There Be Carnage roared to $90 million in its debut, setting a new pandemic record. It's an impressive result, one that might provide a lifeline to struggling movie theaters and prove Marvel's might at the box office. Here's the thing. The movie theaters have been struggling for like pretty much the past decade because of how little of the box office they get. They're popcorn sellers, because that's really where the money comes, popcorn and candy and concessions. The much darker Venom follow-up comes from Sony Pictures and is separate from Disney's Marvel Cinematic Universe. Well, it's still in a gray area. It hasn't been established whether or not Venom is separate, because there seems to be a connection between Venom and Spider-Man, which obviously there is from the comics. But we're just talking about the movie universes, and Spider-Man is a part of MCU. So their highest grossing films were Shang-Chi and Black Widow, and I think this has the numbers of what it did relative to So these are the benchmarks of the pandemic era. They call it a supervillain sequel, which I guess he's an anti-hero, whatever. Black Widow reportedly got 80 million when it opened, and another 60 on Disney Plus, if you believe those numbers. Shang-Chi got 75 million, and Fast and the Furious got 70 million. These are all the domestic box office first weekend. This does not include overseas gates, and I mean, obviously there was a separate number for Black Widow because of Disney Plus. So this is the best. I think Quiet Place was up there as far as honorable mentions, and Godzilla vs. Kong, which was one of the first ones I think to go over 50. So this is where the box office are in the pandemic era. There's a lot of talk about our evil overlords because they're evil. Just did they say buy your Christmas gifts early? How evil is this? Is this you guys are just open about the fact that this has nothing to do with the disease. That notwithstanding, I'm not sure how the rest of the box office is going to turn out for all these other movies the rest of the year, because we don't know what our evil overlords are doing with this pandemic. That's the big deal. And Wait Down says he'll download the full stream when I'm done. Oh, thank you, man. This is going to be a mess of a stream. I'm not sure. Yeah, I meant to talk to you about that, because Wait Down is going to be helping me clip out these streams so this channel can grow. And I'm like, I don't know if this week, especially with this episode, with the weird technical issues, would be the best one, because I kind of got to get back into running things. So, yeah. In any event, did anyone see Venom? That's probably a good question. Did anyone see Venom, and if so, what did they think about it? I mean, the second one. I'm pretty sure I saw the first one and didn't like it. Because it was just like, oh, it just was kind of goofy for me. And this is still pretty goofy to me. But if I don't know. I mean, there was some cool, if I remember correctly, some cool action scenes, some goofy dialogue. I don't think I saw all of it. I think it was one of those, sometimes you're like chilling watching a movie with someone and you're not really watching the movie. I think it was one of those situations. Good for Venom 2, I guess. If all box office numbers are to be believed, that's always the thing. But I don't know. I think this might, every time a movie does, I'm like, this is going to be the highest a pandemic movie does. So if there's nothing being messed with, like if there's no Delta variant being tossed out there to scare normies away, I honestly think No Way Home is going to be the biggest blockbuster of this year. I don't know what next year holds. Shit, we don't know what tomorrow holds in this crazy world. But as far as I see a lot of people trying to use this against like Shang-Chi. What does everyone have against Shang-Chi? What does everyone have against Shang-Chi? So Wait Down says he likes this one more than the first one. I actually thought No Time to Die was the better of the recent film releases. So you saw No Time to Die as well. And you think it's the better? I haven't liked much of the Daniel Craig. Obviously, I really was a fan of the first one he did, Casino Royale. I really liked that a ton. What was the other one? Skyfall was okay. The rest could, he can go he can do whatever with them. And we got actually spoilers. If you guys watched the MF for Cocktail Lounge, Nina Infinity, because it already opened there in Mexico. She just broke it down. It opened internationally as well. And Hellfish Chozo, appreciate you showing up. This is a little bit different because StreamYard has a nationwide outage. So we are on OBS. And shout out to Pat Ass, Wait Down, New Bomb Turk, everybody else in the chat, and anyone watching the playback. We really appreciate all of you. Really appreciate all of you. So I'm not sure, I'm not sure what the box office holds. It's just kind of a thing. I haven't checked it out. Paulie has saw it in theaters. He really liked it. You know what I mean? It may be better than the first one. It's worth checking out. I may check it out. I thought to check it out this weekend. I had other things going on, so I didn't get the time to. We said in a world of 5 years ago, every single one of these movies would be a horrible flop, and everyone would be laughed out of Hollywood. But since the world's on fire, $30 million is certainly a win. Even though they're not recouping the money it just costs to make these things plus marketing. Well, listen, at a $90 million debut, you're up to kind of recoup. Part of the problem with recouping money, which is how much they need to recoup. Each one of these movies need bare minimum $500 million just to break even, and that's being generous. They're too fucking expensive. They're too expensive. The expense is not adding on to the quality because they're CG heavy and therefore just uninventive. Hollywood is fundamentally broken, man. And the superhero movie did it, unfortunately. And it sucks. I think a lot of us are comic book fans or at least lore fans. But it really destroyed Hollywood. I don't know if Venom's going to make his money back. The only movie listed that I can guarantee made his money back, and I don't know if I can guarantee because the international box office is funky, but Fast and the Furious made a lot of money. So more than likely, they actually profited. There's a few movies that may have actually profited. I think even Godzilla vs. Kong, because even though it was expensive, it wasn't that expensive. I think even that could have made his money back. Shang-Chi, probably, if they're blessed, they'll break even. I don't think Black Widow will break even. Maybe it'll be close enough to get close. Maybe Venom does too. But that's what these things are doing. They're hoping this stuff breaks even. Bond ain't breaking even. They need $900 million to break even because of how long they sat on it and the way the investors and the interest and all that other shit works. They ain't getting it. I don't really want to see that movie. Hearing the spoilers from the Infinity, check out the MFer on Match Channel Friday if you want to see that. I'm not going to spoil it here because it has not released, and I barely remember them. But I mean, it doesn't knock away from what I thought the movie would be. It does sound like they tried an about face, and that's nothing. The reshoots, they definitely reshot another movie. It sounds like, but it still doesn't sound good. It just sounds like a mega disaster. A mega disaster. Wake Down's considering a stream by this evening. I think it was the most Bond movie Craig has made. 90% of what we warned about will be in it. Wasn't. Well, yeah, because they shifted. They shifted hard. They reshot the fucking movie. That's why. Hell, Killy Child, what's going on? You know what's going on? That sounds like Hank Hill doing fucking Marvin Gaye. But what's going on is a StreamYard outage. And so we're going through OBS. And we got a hard out in less than a couple hours. Usually you watch on Twitch, for some reason their stream is canceled. Maybe they use StreamYard. And it's not just StreamYard. A lot of tech messed up. I guess Google Docs, Instascam. So who knows what the evil overlords are doing today. But there's a lot of people who having issues. Noble Iroh, I appreciate you being here. He said, yeah, of course, stream late. It was not my fault. I felt like Han Solo. It wasn't my fault. But hell, Noble Iroh, appreciate seeing you around. You're a good dude. Good dude, man. That's pretty much all I got to say about Venom. Hey, I may check it out. This weekend just for something to go see popcorn. Go eat popcorn and watch a movie. I don't really want to see No Time to Die. Yeah, VigilanteWilliamson, brightest day, hell brightest day. Yeah, Facebook and Instascam, apparently Google Docs and StreamYard, amongst others. I don't know if Twitch had issues. So yeah, really sucks. Really sucks. So here's a little bit more of a rumor. We got our cut, our asshole cut, our Snyder cut. There may be an Ayer cut of Suicide Squad coming to HBO Max next year. I remember that 2016 Suicide Squad. First off, you guys remember the trailer for 2016 Suicide Squad, being hyped for it, and then seeing it and just like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Before I knew of a fandom, before I knew of a release, before there was a release to Snyder Cut, I remember thinking there was something wrong. I remember hearing that there was something wrong with the editing. I remember Jared Leto saying, where the fuck is, all the shit that we shot, as far as his Joker, which I didn't like. So I definitely remember something suspect about this Suicide Squad. I remember hearing all about just being a, nosy fan, going into the dirt sheet, so to speak, hearing about all the craziness that happened with the editing in this movie. So that there's an Ayer cut, I'm not shocked. There was something funky that happened in the editing in this movie, something that smelled of studio interference. So there's potentially an Ayer cut coming in 2022. Warner Brothers may be changing their minds about releasing an Ayer cut of 2016 Suicide Squad, despite what CEO Ann Sarnoff had said in Variety some time ago, which, for the record, won't be developing David Ayer's cut. But according to a fresh scoop from Mikey Sutton, Geekosity, he's a rumor guy, but some stuff he gets right, some stuff he gets wrong, like anyone else. But he gets enough stuff right to be relevant for you to at least take this with, take it with a grain of salt. It is a rumor, but at least, assign some potential weight to it. They will release the Ayer cut on HBO Max, much like the Snyder cut of the Justice League next year. They're ready to move on in a new direction of DC films. A change of heart came when the Snyder cut social media buzz became too much for the HBO Max and its current AT&T owners to ignore. Now they're not owned by AT&T anymore. The ownership situation has already changed yet again since the Snyder cut has been released. So we'll see about that. But goodness, this CG. Do you remember this CG? Look at this shit. What the fuck is going on? What the name of the Illuminati is going on here? Once the merger with Discovery is final, conquering them and the streaming kingdom will be the new executive's main priority. No cash will be left on the table. So basically, they're going to be so focused on winning this streaming war that they would gladly do this, is the idea. Some sources hint the Ayer cut will be announced at DC Fandom, which he thinks might be too soon. We'll see. Let's see. Our boy Willard. Check out Saturday's episode of Late Saturday Night to see why I had to reference old Willard. Critical Truth Theory. Here's the article. And here's his old chick, or one of his chicks apparently. He should have stuck with her. All the news in the last few months about the Ayer cut says the opposite, that its release couldn't be further from happening. Still, Sutton considers David Ayer's Suicide Squad a weapon of mass destruction Warner should use to shock and awe Disney. I don't know if it's that. I mean, even the Snyder cut, you can argue whether or not it was successful. I think it had some elements of success. I think it definitely helped that and some of those movies that they had at the beginning of the year with Godzilla vs. Kong, just focus on Willard. I think a lot of that helped HBO Max, believe it or not. And so yeah, I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't know. The streaming wars. The streaming wars is going to create a lot of craziness, a lot of funkiness, a lot of potential, a lot of chances, not good ones, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Got to hydrate or die. But a lot of chances will be taken, and the Ayer Cup may be one of them. I don't know that it's going to be impactful. I don't think it'll even be as impactful as the Snyder Cut. I don't know if the Snyder Cut was a success. I think that could be argued either way, but I don't think this will be as impactful as the Snyder Cut. I actually think, it may be just another thing to be on HBO Max. I haven't checked you guys out because everything's all jacked up. The whole setup. You said I read some of this. The Wake Down. I'm about to say the Woke Down. The Wake Down said Black Widow might have broken even had they not had to settle ScarJo out of court on top of her original $20 million contract. I meant to talk a little bit about that because I was in the comments arguing a little bit with the guy I used to get mixed up with, Valiant Renegade. Now everyone knows who he is and forgot about me. But Valiant Renegade was talking about the lawsuit, and I thought of it more of a success for ScarJo given the circumstances than he did, because I figured, what else was she going to do? And she seemed to have gotten things out of it. So I don't know. Let's see. You guys are talking about ups and downs. No Time for Love, Dr. 007. Venom, Let There Be Carnage needs to be a real triumph. It's apparently made $90 million, Keely Child. And these SJWs and Fandom Menace Harris need to take an L. Strange there's an ad for StreamYard on that page. Yeah, no, I noticed that. They got their marketing working, but their fucking platform doesn't. Yeah, I don't think the audience that exists for the Suicide Squad that exists for Justice League either. Another thing is, think about the fact of, I think you're really going to confuse a lot of normies. DC has to be confusing the shit out of normies. So you would have now a whole new Suicide Squad. Like, normies aren't going to know. Normies aren't going to know. They barely knew the Justice League. I don't think they did. They just forgot the first one. So, like, even though it made like almost a billion, was it like 700 million or whatever it did, and this made a lot of money. The fucking Suicide Squad made a ton of money. But like, normies are not going to keep up with all these different Suicide Squads and all these different continuities, and then it's like 8 Batmans. This is too much. This is too much for me. So, I mean, I'm not saying they won't do it. They might. But I don't see the big W, so to speak, in doing it. And, yeah, the editing of Suicide Squad was one of the biggest flaws. Yeah, absolutely. I do think that a recut of this movie could definitely improve it. Yeah, I remember thinking that story was all over the place. I remember tuning out when Flag turns to El Diablo and the scene just dips to black. Yeah, there was all sorts of funky, weird editing. Like, what is happening in this movie? Of course, they had to use that picture of Margot. And hey, one rough girl. Crazy Monday. It is Crazy Monday. Just another manic Monday. And is Wake Down a video editor? He is. He is indeed. He is indeed. Cool Beans going to remember that. And who knew the salt must flow? Who knew the salt must flow? No G. Feels OG because I'm having to use the OBS to stream. It's been a while. Salty Army. There you go. Anytime you need help and you're not on Twitter, you can email me as last resort. But attend check at least once a day. Okay, you guys are contacting. Cool. Fizz Chozo, streaming war is kind of a dumb idea. Every entertainment company has to have their own streaming service, but only one can survive. Yeah, it's going to destroy a lot of entertainment. Most of it, and maybe that's the goal. The goal is to have, one state-sponsored streaming service that all live and all must consume. I don't know. A lot of entertainment is going to die and kill itself in the streaming war. Because this is the biggest issue in it. Netflix, who is the king of streaming, still is not a profitable company if they're operating at full bore. They're not a profitable company. A lot of companies in general, not just in the entertainment sphere, but they're really good at getting marks on the stock market to believe in them, and Netflix is one of them. Pandora, you remember Pandora? I think it's still around. Spotify's kind of taking its crown. It existed for years and years, operating in the red, operating at a loss. So these streaming services, because the servers ain't cheap, running them ain't cheap. And there's a cost there. There's a cost in running these servers. So none of these streaming services are profitable yet, including Netflix. Maybe Amazon is, ? But Amazon, even though it's technically the most subscribed to, but it's because it's packaged with Amazon Prime, which I have for shipping. You know what I mean? I have to get shit the next day. That's my point of having Amazon Prime. So, yeah, the whole streaming services situation or streaming wars, it doesn't seem like it's going to end well. But even what was I say with Amazon, um, I don't even know that it's a profit for Amazon because they still have to use the server space, and they rather rent the server space out than use it for their own shit, and then pay for all the costs it costs to operate. Well, I know they have trillions of dollars in which to do it because they don't pay their employees. Or they pay them all right, but they shit on them. I was one once upon a time. So yeah, I think the whole concept of the streaming wars, like you, is not gonna work. And let's see what else you guys talking about. Of course, that means all companies must find one service to put their content on, including rivals. That's another advantage Amazon has. A lot of companies are using that as like a go-between. Honestly, the networks are dying to the point that IPTV companies are coming for the little guy. Crazy, yeah. To have an actual streaming war, we end up with a monopoly streaming service that's not a viable option. Either the cable option wasn't perfect, but looking back, it was the better model. But network television failed. So that's the only issue with that. Or cable television kind of failed. It was the better model, all said and done, because of what it provided for the cost. If you were paying $60, $70 a month for the amount of content you got, as opposed to a streaming service, but 60, 70 in streaming services, you don't really get the same thing, unless you get through like something like Hulu TV or what else? YouTube TV. But then again, maybe those packages, which are basically just cable light, maybe those will become the more popular option. And then it costs less for a full cable package than it does to maintain accounts while streaming providers. But there's one caveat. I'm paying for one single streaming service. I pay for HBO Max. There's other family paying for, and I guess technically, what's the shit I should say? Amazon. But other family members are paying for other ones. So I have access without any Tortuga for all the streaming services. I sometimes I watch Hulu for live stuff, but otherwise I don't watch any of it. I watch YouTube. Like I said, I've been watching every now and again. Watching football. Watched some of the football for yesterday, and New Bomb Turk pays for none. That's the other issue. So like, I just don't see how this works. It doesn't math for me. It never has. Never did this math right. The best option would be decentralized entertainment similar to YouTube model without corporate regulation. That's where we're not there. Maybe Rumble, maybe one of these new YouTube competitors, which I don't know if they'll ever get the traction they need, but maybe they could provide something similar to that. But all right, enough of the streaming service war. We gotta talk about Gina Carano in a way, because the reason I say that is because Lucy Lawless, there were a lot of people who wanted her to replace Gina Carano as Cara Dune, and apparently she was already up for a different Star Wars role while this was happening, and that may have caused issues. So this is just an interesting thing that may have happened. Who knows, in the crazy world of Hollywood. This is all, I guess, this is kind of rumor and innuendo in and of itself. And then we have one more note on Gina Carano after this. Actress Lucy Lawless, better known for Xena Warrior Princess, Spartacus, Battlestar Galactica, and Ash vs. Evil Dead, recently addressed fans campaigning to have her replace Gina Carano as Cara Dune on The Mandalorian. I didn't know there was any fans doing this, but I'll take that. I mean, hey, we're clued into ourselves, but there are other fan bases exist, other groups exist, and I mean, I like Lucy Lawless. At least I did in the 90s. It was the 90s, 20 years ago. I don't know how she would fit in this role, and I know a lot of these people are probably people who are not fans of Gina, maybe for political reasons, maybe not. Okay, they go through the whole, Jesus Christ, this is becoming, I love Gina, I love her to pieces. This is becoming Batman's parents getting murdered, going through this story every time. It's seeing Batman's parents getting murdered every time, hearing Uncle Ben say with great responsibility, Great power comes great responsibility, and then dying. I've seen it too much. We get it. We get what happened with Gina Carano. So this is some podcast, Severed Sons, a D&D podcast. Says cancel Disney Plus. Can't they just cast Lucy Lawless as Cara Dune and pretend it was her the whole time? Recasts do happen all the time. I know a lot of people don't like it. I wouldn't be a fan, but there are some people. I don't know who this person is from Adam or Eve, but just hear me out. Casting Lucy Lawless as Cara Dune would sell so many action figures. I'm just saying she'd bring in a lot of bank. If you had a time machine and get 90s Lucy Lawless, I mean, she was pretty hot. Not no disrespect to more distinguished Lawless. But she addressed the fan casting, claiming it made her political. It might even have cost her another Star Wars role. This is kind of a sad thing about society. She's just somebody trying to get a job, but it became a political thing. It became a political role. And apparently, even though they must hate Gina, they didn't want to feed into it. They just, we just don't want to deal with it. We just don't want to deal with it. A lot of times, cancel culture works not just because there are people who are on a political side. This is not a cancel culture story, but it does get to the mentality of the people who make decisions. Sometimes you just don't want to deal with shit. You may agree, you may feel one way or another, but you just don't want that cloud over your property. You can be told to wait it out, but as we know, sometimes even if you wait it out, they'll resurrect the story. So this is the mentality behind them when potentially Lucy Lawless was getting cast. It's just like, we just don't want to deal with it. Even though you would think the people who want Cara Dune recast would be on their political side. But it's just the drama itself. She said it may have hurt me in some way because they couldn't hire me because it was seen to be pandering here. I'm just guessing. I don't know anything, but in some ways it can be unhelpful because if they pander to this fan group, then how are they going to pander to every other fan group? Do you know what I mean? She said I became political. I had nothing to do with the discussion. But that's the way the world is. They meant it out of love, and I thank the fans for their fealty to me. So she thanks the fans. She understands. And I don't know when this happened as far as this casting shot. I haven't thought about it since, so it hasn't given me any pain. I thought at the time, this makes me look like a political appointment and not an actress. Oh, man, that sucks. While she knows the fan casting, if it came to pass, yeah, that's what she said. I guess she's no stranger to getting political. January, homegrown. Okay, so she said a bunch of woke stuff. So she got triggered by so a bunch of woke stuff from Lucy Lawless. Grab you. Okay, Trump, orange man, bad. That's notwithstanding. I mean, maybe if I had to drop, I would go get what you deserve. She went all political, and now the political shit came home to roost on her. Maybe a little bit of that. But otherwise, it's just an interesting thing that happened. I'm going to see what you guys are talking about. Prime is doing football right now. Like I said, I have it through Hulu. I don't know how to get it on Prime. I don't know if it's an extra fee or what. It might be free. Newbound Turk watches NFL, any modern entertainment, live or not, free. Well, cool. Math never worked because you were being lied to about the end goal. The end goal wasn't money. You don't question it when a company spends billions and billions. You're probably right on this one. We're in the exo zone, Alex Jones zone. You don't question it when a company spends billions and billions building something because you know there's a reason they build it. Yeah, what they built was a propaganda engine and it's breaking down and it successfully ran for generations. I agree with that. The entertainment industry is a complete work, including the money, including a lot of money. I mean, a lot of these budgets are big budget movies, but I mean, I'll never forget fucking Wonder Woman 84 cost $200 million. No, it didn't. That was laundered money. Some of this money's being laundered into this shit. Only God knows where it comes from. Pat S got a what? I'm not sure what that is. And Rough Girl says she watches me more than anything. Oh, thank you, Rough Girl. I watch a lot of YouTube, so I get it. It's cool to be your YouTuber and your lunchtime YouTuber. It looks like for the next for the foreseeable future. This is the first episode of that. And you guys saying what's up to each other. So it's just an interesting thing. Maybe, she did dip her toe in a political thing. Again, ironically enough, casting her as Gina or as Cara Dune would have been a win for the left side if I'm or the, you know what I mean, the anti Gina Caranoers, which you would think she politically lines up with. But I mean, not everyone plays the political game, and not everyone is anti Gina Carano. Obviously, a lot of us are not. I'm a pro Gina Carano, and apparently so is Kiss. Gene Simmons, Gina Carano. I don't know. Who knows what Gene Simmons has on his mind when he thinks about Gina Carano. But this is something from PirateSandPrincesses.net. Shout out to Clownfish. Shout out to Geeky Sparkles. When Gina Carano was canceled from The Mandalorian, people on both sides expressed their opinion. I'm sick of the both sides. The binary thing, but I guess it's relevant because everything's political. Some said they were right, others said they weren't. But out of nowhere, some unexpected voices have expressed their displeasure of her being let go from the show. The Star Wars themed YouTube channel, the Bombad Cast, went to a VIP Q&A in Austin, good old Austin, Texas. The Q&A session was with Kiss. Bombad Cast member Scotty J-Ro asked a question that seemed kind of random but had an interesting answer. Scotty said that he knew Gene Simmons really liked The Mandalorian. He asked Gene on his opinion on season 2, and Gene gave an interesting response. So he didn't even ask her directly. He said they should have kept the chick, even though she had different political points of views not about politics, is rather not you're a good actress, huh? After being asked about how Star Wars and Kiss both became popular around the same time, Paul Stanley chimed in and said the whole cancel culture is dangerous. The idea that people can't speak their mind, that's what freedom is all about. To lose your job because of something you said, even if I find it offensive, you got to look at that. Plus, she kicked my ass. So look at them. They're pro Gina. It is random. And I've talked about oh my God, an old celebrity agrees with me on something. Jerk off to it. But it's just something funny. Since we already had the story that was related to Gina, I figured I'd toss that out there as well. Yeah, wait, now you're right. It's not surprising that the group who was called Night and Satan Sirs and all the other shit, which who knows if that's true, would have an anti-cancel culture mentality. They definitely faced a different form of cancel culture in their day, and they definitely fought through it. A random thought is bullshit that why YouTube hasn't added this Top Chat live chat feature. Added that Top Chat live chat feature only to censor certain voices. Tired to have to switch to chat modes to see certain people's comments. Sup, my nerder. Sup, Sentient Dildo. Buzz. Appreciate you being here, man. Having issues, technical issues because of StreamYard shitting a bit, but we're still out here. We're still out here live. Still getting through the very first show of this daily thing. It's a VW Casual this week. Next week they shall be the VigilanteWilliamson show, which I gotta try to reboot. So that's pretty much it with this one. So these next two stories are kind of paired as well. I talked about how I don't give a shit when an old celebrity says something, whether I agree with it or not. But there's this interesting thing going on where women are being like dehumanized, for a lack of a better term. I know a lot of people could think I'm a misogynist sometimes because I make my jokes. But this is fucking crazy. So Larry, the Cable Guy, calls out Forbes and the CDC for referring to pregnant women as pregnant people. And then, not to be outdone, come on, New York Post. This British medical journal, The Lancet, is calling women bodies with vaginas. I'm not joking. I know we constantly hear of wacky shit, and it's very easy if you're in this community or this fellowship, or if you're on a certain side of the political aisle, or just anti a certain side of the political aisle. You can kind of hear a lot of this stuff and get numb to it, but it's getting more and more mainstream. This is the CDC and Forbes. This is now hitting normies. The shit that was on Tumblr in 2013 is now hitting normies in 2021. Now normie Karens are getting called bodies with vaginas. And on some level, especially when it comes to Karens, you get what you fucking deserve, man. On some level, they cause this themselves. Because a lot of this comes off of the feminism and whamming. Now you guys aren't even whamming anymore. Your bodies with vaginas. You're pregnant people. Yeah, you are now. It is transphobic to call men and women men and women. That's the culture you guys helped create. You blue hair, and not, this is obviously not most women. This is a very small section of women. These blue haired, purple haired, too many things have went in their butthole as stay in college forever, college dead ass motherfuckers who were the thought leaders who spent time musty as shit on Tumblr and went to Twitter, and they mainstreamified absolute nonsense. Because you have to be inclusive to the 0.0% of trans people. Now, we're trying to make it more because we're trying to culturally hijack your kids. We're trying to culturally hijack kids. So we're trying to have them, your kids that are growing up now, they'll be normalized as pregnant, women are pregnant people. And not all women are women. They're just biological women. They're just bodies with vaginas. Natural vaginas. So yeah. And works in a few hours, badass. Real women have female PP. Women are being dehumanized because of trans rights. And, women were the women in feminism. I shouldn't say women. Feminism was a huge proponent of trans rights. Huge proponent of a lot of that stuff. And they're getting, their chickens are coming home to roost. We're all being dehumanized in different ways. Absolutely. That's just a major part of this. You can't get people to kill their neighbor until they no longer see them as human. There you go. You're absolutely right. That there is a dehumanization and a dehumanization of all groups, demonization of all groups. We do it ourselves, though, the crazy left. Those crazy leftists. You forget that's a human being. No matter how wacky their thoughts may be, that's a whole human being who bleeds, has family that loves them. You know what I mean? The whole name of the game is divide and conquer and dehumanize and devalue what this is. It's to break the spirit of the human condition. That's why our entertainment was hijacked. That's why our entertainment was hijacked. It was to brainwash the future generations and to break the spirit of the current generations. So you can see your avatars and your heroes broken. You can see Luke Skywalker drink blue titty milk or green titty milk. I keep getting that confused, the blue milk. But green titty milk. You can see I was about to spoil something. You can see John Connor get his head blown off. You can see the fucking Terminator as an interior decorator, and women are pregnant people. You don't even get chicks flicks, by the way. I keep saying this. They're so pro-women, putting women in these action movies and making them, making them Mary Sue's. But they don't fucking even put a romance out there because straight romance is transphobic. If anything, it's transphobic or homophobic if you're not completely, if you're not butt fucking a guy and you're a guy, you're homophobic. If you're not cutting your wang off, you're transphobic because they're pushing it so far. And again, dehumanization, this takes no input from a normal trans or LGBTQ or anything. It's just getting no input from them. Just like I gave no input to Black Lives Matter. And they didn't care what I thought. They didn't care what Eric July thought. They didn't ask. They don't care what the Latinos and Latinas think. They Latinx. They're just forcing it on them. You just get it forced on you. And they don't care what you women think. You're just pregnant people. You're just bodies with vaginas. Get used to it. That's what they're normalizing. And they're going to succeed because they own all the media. And we still worship the media. And they still are the medium for which public discussion is viewed or translated. Even if it's to say, oh, they don't know what they're talking about, they're still the ones. They're still the ones whom I'm reading. I'm reading the New York Post. Yeah, I read Bounding and Post Millennial and whatever else, but I read the New York Post and Variety and New York Times and stuff. They still own the conversation. They just do. And yeah, there is a trans agenda to replace us. I'm not with that. There's a war going on between the LGB and the T. Whoa, I didn't know that such a dildo in the UK. That's obviously you're in Croatia, a little closer. It'd be nice if Rajesh or any of our British folk can let us know a little bit more about that. Hell, Jaffo, appreciate you being here, Jaffo. Feminism kept a lot of ducks wet in the 90s and 2000s. They absolutely did, Jaffo. You coming in hot. They absolutely did. What makes me laugh is women fight for equality and opportunities. Then, instead of enrolling in STEM degrees, these women enroll in gender studies. Go figure. And they also don't want equality when it comes to that draft. Because when the draft is starting to draft women, and maybe some of that drafting women is because of the some of them are it's ma'am trying to get some of them in the draft. I don't know, but yeah. Next, they're going to say it's okay for children to adopt grown people. Don't give them any ideas, one rough girl. Don't give them any ideas. And yeah, Snorter Poopus, I got this going. It was a struggle, but we got this going. Shout out to OBS. That was StreamYard is still down. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, but Snorter Poopus was here earlier when we were having technical issues. And he's back. It's good to see my man Snorter Poopus, or my bear Snorter Poopus. I don't want to offend anyone else. The Marxist cabal have infiltrated many areas of society. Every chip at the rock is another chip away from the destabilization of Western civilization, culture, and ethics. And I don't know how to reverse this, by the way. If anyone got any ideas? I'm just one asshole who's going to work in a couple hours. Sipping Aquafina in a junkie room. You know what I mean? I don't know how to stabilize a cabal that's ran for thousands of years outside of prayer. You know what I mean? And belief that it's probably all for the end times. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I think that they have so much power amongst normies. They've already won. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. And I'm not trying to black pill. I just don't know what to do. I think all we can do is kind of laugh at it and hope and push back where we are. A lot of it has to be pushed back locally. But I don't know how you stop them from calling women's with bodies with vaginas and normalizing that naturally throughout the culture. Let's see what else you guys are talking about. Because, Bright as Day says, because when we no longer recognize each other as human, it becomes easier for alien things to blend in. Now we're really out there. It is such a deal. Don't call me a bigot. Don't call me a bigot. Can't be a bigot. He's black. You got some hell for Snorter Poopus. Nah, he's still a straight man. Oh boy. Oh yeah, and black men are the white people of black people, so we don't count unless we're getting shot, of course. Oh man, fish likes Aquafina confirmed. Nah man, she has something to her look just does not look right. Only way to go back is the abandoned ways of your enemy entirety. Adopt the old ways while fighting all who stop you. So that's again, to even think of yourself, who's the enemy? The enemy is not that many people. It's not all those blue-haired land whales who are used the useful idiot class. They're not the enemy. They're and that's one of the biggest mistakes I think a lot of the non-left makes. They think their enemy. They think AOC is the enemy, or Biden is the enemy. Who's behind the actual enemy? The only impactful motherfuckers are the people who employ them. And I don't mean like the United States government, like our taxpayers. I mean we pay for them, but the actual motherfuckers who make the decisions to put them in those powers. Those are the only actual enemies. That's the weird thing. That's the It's like if you're a superhero, so to speak, or vigilante, maybe, and the super villain has brainwashed the entire city in some Borg-like way. You really can't. Everyone becomes your enemy, but each individual is not the enemy. You can't just punch out some old lady because now she's attacking you, and she's been brainwashed. And that's kind of the situation we are. Fight the lizard folk. Yeah, it's like, how do you stop this evil cabal? They're the real enemy. And they have so much guarding them, and they have so many brainwashers that you'll yell at their tentacle. You'll yell, "Oh, this Biden guy, this orange man guy, this tentacle I see." I'm screaming at it, and it's like, no, there's a cabal behind all this shit. Speaking of lizard folk, the Zuckerfish is still down. Yeah, and actually, speaking of Zuckerfish, that's because we're zooming through this because we do have to we have a hard out. I want to get something to eat. For work, because I'm a fat fuck. In any event, Facebook is now blaming its own employees for the wave of negative publicity. So we know Facebook is currently down, along with StreamYard and and Instacam and a bunch of other stuff. That's not what this is about. This is about their censorship, their CCP like censorship. We know this platform censors like the CCP. We know a lot of these platforms have now gotten the United States, or the People's Republic of America, in this very censored thing. I call it the COOF. I don't call it COVID. I can't say certain drugs that start with IV because I don't know how to pronounce them. But even if I did know how to pronounce that drug, I would not be able to say it. So that's that sort of thing. And then you can't say certain basic things about what certain jabs actually do and do not do. These basic things, and along with, you can't say if you do like certain orange individuals. That's not a thing that this platform allows. And now they're just blaming their employees. Oh no, we didn't do it. Zuckerbot didn't do it. It's the employees. They're doing it. It's a weird mentality over there. They've been kind of throwing those people under the bus. The people they ask to understand the platform's role in the world, it's kind of an aggressive thing for them. So they basically have taken all their researchers and blamed them for the recent negative publicity. It's a weird mentality. I think the memo, Nick Clegg, who's the vice president of global affairs for Facebook, he sent out internally, is kind of remarkable. You're basically telling your own staff or your company, I can't be blamed as the primary cause, was the language for the polarization in America. We know this CIA operated Facebook was completely, like almost exclusively, for the polarization of America and the brainwashing for certain segments of America. It almost said, okay, ivermectin. There we go. I appreciate it. I actually could pronounce it. That was kind of Joe. I couldn't pronounce it. But if I could, I couldn't. Ivermectin, Susan. I said it. It exists. Go fuck yourself. I've been fucking with Susan. She's gonna take my channel down. We're not gonna be going daily. We'll be done by tomorrow. Jesus. All right. But yeah, Nick Clegg said it ain't my fault. He went fucking Master P. But it is you, Nick, and fucking Mark, and all you other motherfuckers. It is your fault. CIA, culture. It's not. I don't think culture works with them. This actually talks about the Lancet article. But millions of users were blessed by this part of the algorithm. It's talking about how Facebook has a double standard. So apparently a lot of illegal shit happens all the time, but then certain things it says bless unlawful harassment, incitement, and violence passed unchecked. So basically, if you say Orange Man bad, you're gonna get or Orange Man good, you're gonna get shot down immediately. But if you're like selling weed through Facebook, you're not gonna get caught. So that's what they're talking about. Oh, your mom got a Facebook suspension. You're a proud dildo. I'm proud of you too. Shout out to the dildo family. Proud. They're proud people. The Croatian dildo family. Proud people. And Rough Girl, back to the last topic we were talking about, them destroying all women. And actually, that was even a part of the video, looks like in the bottom. They've been inching a way to eliminate females. They do it by distraction. Every time there's a major political distraction, something comes up that eliminates females by gender. Yeah, they're definitely trying to destroy the female. It's wild. And of course, they're the ones, oh, we love women. We love women. No, you don't. You want women, you want women to become men and men become women because you're fucking deprived Baphomet worshippers, man. Tell her congratulations from at least thousands. I would say a lot more people are proud of you, such a dildo. Proud of you and your family. And yeah, Zuck can't do anything wrong. It's those nasty employees. Both Such and Dildo, Snorter Poopus, respectively. If you ever believe there was a human that would make you, if there was ever a human that make you believe the reptile theory, it's the Zuck, man. I agree, man. He's a creepy motherfucker. I don't think I can, can I show you? I kind of want to show the, you ever see him where he's asked about being a lizard person? It doesn't help. It doesn't help. Jeez, I don't want to, I think I know what I'll do. Because I don't want to dox myself. So let me see something. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So I can search in private. All right. I'm actually going to find this video. Mark Zuckerberg is asked about being a lizard person. He doesn't answer in a way a normal human would. Let me see. Okay. Firstly, let's get the video back up there. Alrighty. And let me know if you guys can hear. You may have even heard the when I first started. So hopefully you guys can hear the sound. Let's actually play. They should be able to hear.
There's some pretty good ones. Especially, one of the crazy things when you do these live Q&As is some of them are very silly. So we got one. Mark, are the allegations true that you are secretly a lizard? I'm gonna have to go with no on that. I am not a lizard, but keep the high quality.
He's so not a human. Something's weird wrong with this guy. I'm not saying he's a lizard person. I'm saying there's something, and it's not just he's on the spectrum. No. There's something not clicking.
There's some pretty good ones. Especially, one of the crazy things when you do these live Q&As, some of them are very silly. So we got one. Mark, are the allegations true that you are secretly a lizard?
He looks. Who has to look at that lawyer?
Go with no on that. I am not a lizard.
No, I'm gonna watch Star Trek Discovery. Who has to look at their lawyer when they're asked if they're a lizard? Any of you in the chat, were you ever asked, are you a lizard, and had to say, you know what? I need assistance. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Congrats on how long she in jail. Oh, 3 days for hate speech. Hate speech? Such a dildo with hate speech? No. And yeah, women are getting destroyed by men in sports. Yeah, they wanna play. They want to be offensive to trans people in sports. So there you go. The clip of him drinking water and hearing, yeah, him drinking water felt weird too. So you did hear the wait down. Sound is good. You guys did hear the sound. Good. Did he admit he couldn't get dates until he was rich? Yeah, well, that's just called being a trick. Totally human, nothing to see here. Yeah, he's worked out on Adderall all the time. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's tweaked out on Adderall to another point. And yeah, he's definitely a fucking demon. Cross between a robot and a whiny, annoying kid you hate in high school. Yeah, that's exactly what a lizard would say. He looks, and it's like, yo, that's what I was thinking. Like, he looks like, I can't tell them I'm a lizard, right? Not a lizard, but if I would have asked if I were a wizard, she would have really liked what I did with the sleight of hand. Brightest day. Don't get indicted, brightest day. The Zuck might be an android. Absolutely. Something's off. Could be a robotoid. Those things supposedly exist. I don't know what he is, but he ain't human. He ain't normal. Could just be an Adderall tweaker. That's what the not normal. Like he's still human flesh and blood, but it's so tweaked out on Adderall.
There's some pretty good ones.
I'm gonna just watch this.
Especially,
his just mannerisms just don't seem. Seems like he's acting everything. Like he's acting like he's acting. I've seen androids with more personality than this guy has. Yeah. But all right, guys, this has been fun. We got one more. We got to end on something positive, and we are going to go ahead and end the show on this. Actually, something positive about the cops. How about that? Police officers buy a kid a new bike. Duncan rewards them with tickets to the big game. Is this really positive? No, I'm reading this. I picked this last night. So you bought a new bike, but you got fucking tickets to see the Patriots game yesterday, which I actually did watch. That's not like. See, this is why you don't trust the police. Fuck the police. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Jesus. These stories. You guys can see. I usually go on Sunny Skies. Let's just refresh, see if it has anything new. How about this? Now, this is something cool. Wow. Now, this is something positive, and I didn't pre-do it, but I mean, really, some fucking, we bought a kid a bike. We did it out of our fucking whatever fund, and we got tickets to the game. Fuck you guys. That's why people hate the police. In a world first, but this is a really positive story that we can end on, and on some actual positivity, because all this fucking talk of some abortions and babies being killed, let's talk about actual children and women being saved. I know the cabal hates women. The cabal hates kids. Let's talk about something positive. In a world first, doctors save a critically ill pregnant woman and her baby. The world first, a pregnant woman with pulmonary hypertension was sustained for weeks on life support long enough to deliver her premature baby. Holy smokes. That's crazy. Earlier this year, 37-year-old Candice Cruz was diagnosed with pulmonary hypertension, type of high blood pressure that affects the artery in the lungs, and it could be fatal. She felt that she was dying. So I felt that I was dying. I had 2 masks on my face just to keep oxygen up and wasn't doing anything. So that was the scariest. She was also 21 weeks pregnant when the diagnosis came. Oh, my God. In most cases, patients with pulmonary hypertension only survive if they get a lung transplant. However, that was not possible for Cruz if she wanted to keep her baby. Doctors at Toronto General decided to find a way to keep mom and child alive until the baby was big enough to deliver. We began to wonder, if we could see through and just let nature sort of take its course, see if we can carry along. And we realized we could, says John Granton, a consultant in respiratory and critical care in Toronto General Hospital. They put Cruz on ECMO, a form of life support that features a machine that performs essential functions of the heart and lungs. We're equipped for it. It was a completely new way of using EMCO. It was a unique configuration because she has a very specific problem. She cannot pump her blood across the arteries in her lung anymore. So what we did was use a low pressure ECMO, and I'm talking technical stuff. I don't know it any more than you guys do, but this is just an incredible story. And again, a much better than one that I had lined up. It's called Novalung for her right heart to pump blood around her, and the left side of her heart will send blood to the rest of her body, and it worked. Cruz stayed hooked up to the machine for 7 weeks, which was long enough for doctors to deliver, oh my God, only a 1-pound baby by C-section. Now, 3 months later, after a successful double lung transport, she is home with her husband, her Colin, daughter Caitlin, and new lungs with a healthy baby boy. I'm not sure how big the baby is, and I'm not sure if the baby has any health issues, but to have a healthy mom and a healthy baby after this whole journey is just incredible. And we just survive a lung transplant as well is amazing. I don't think that's ever happened. Thank the Most High that this woman and her baby are still alive. It's very easy in this world, like we were talking about, the women are just vaginas with bodies. right? And we talk about the abortion bill. You're destroying women's lives. You're not trying to protect female health. Well, no, this is someone protecting female health. Shout out to the doctors in Toronto who helped this woman. Thank the Most High, this woman is still alive. Look what they did to preserve life, to preserve this woman's life, to preserve this child's life. This is a positive story. Thank God for this. I hope the kid's all right. 1 pound is very small. I know they had to do what they could. They probably wanted to get it out of the mother's body as quickly as possible with her health issues. This is a remarkable story. I really wish there was some way of earmarking so I could see what happened to the family, and because it doesn't see. Does this have a full article? I really want to know what is the situation with the child right now. So sorry, I'm skimming through things. It says a healthy baby boy. It doesn't say that it says the baby's a fighter just like his mom. It just demonstrates what can be done. This will never be a plan. They went that needlessly, but so it just shows. Basically, just shows what happens if you want life to happen, and when you really, really put everything into being actually pro-life. I think it's very easy to say that, and in platitude, it's very easy to say that, and I don't know. People just say, how people just say certain things. This is actually pro-life. This is a remarkable story. I wish the family well. I wish the Cruz family well. God bless them, and God bless everyone who stuck around. Let's see what you guys have to say about that or whatever else you want to talk about, and then we will get out of here. This has been an incredible story. So, let's see. Maybe he's a meth head. Dorsey's a dolphin. Yeah, Dorsey's really gone. He's like on DMT and some other shit. Probably adrenochrome. Here's another positive story for the Veg. Google Danish artists take the money and run. What is that? She's not a woman. She's a person with a vagina, and that's a biological mass, not a baby. Why are humans? Shout out to. What do you mean? Why are humans? Shout out to them. Salute. I find myself asking that question a lot. Understandable. Newborn child is a registered Democrat and voted 10 times for Biden. It may have in multiple states. Oh boy, you guys. All right. This was a remarkable stream to get through with all the technical issues we had. And StreamYard going down. But we got through it. So, I mean, only an hour, but it was still a fun hour. So if you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do so. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. Please like, share, and sub. Please, because people do rewatch these streams, and I appreciate it. This was very eventful for my first episode going daily. But otherwise, I don't have the blade drop or the music to play on the outro. So, peace.